Okay, I will call this a meeting of the Seneca County Commissioners to order for Thursday, December 2nd. Hard to believe it's December, but it is. December 2nd, 2021. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You have it today, Tyler.
You pray with me? Dear Lord, please help guide us and give us your wisdom here as we go to discuss finances, property, personnel here for county government, and please help us to do your will. Give us your wisdom here and steer us in the right direction here as we want to make our county and our residents prosper. Amen.
Okay, well, we have a jam-packed agenda today, so we will get started here. I don't think anybody from, okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Yep, I just want to make the announcements that we do have a meeting tonight at 7 out at NCOESC. And we will go into an executive session kind of in the middle of the meeting at some point. Roll call, please, Kylie.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
Pardon me?
Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. You got it.
Commissioner Kirschner,
Here.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Here.
Commissioner Schaaf.
Here.
Okay, so now we need to approve the audio, video, digital recording from our session of last Tuesday, the 23rd.
So moved.
Second.
Any additional discussion? Hearing none. Kylie, one more time.
Commissioner Schaaf,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Okay. Stacy?
Yeah, I don't see GeoCap on yet, so I will just give an update. We got month-end reports in, and our monthly revenue for November is $1,643,110.08. So
And year to date?
year-to-date, $18,242,618.08. And our expenses, this might seem a little large, but I'll explain why. November's expenses, $2,247,953.84. The reason that's high is because the auditor's office in the reports includes our advances, and because of the airport project, we needed to advance the money because we don't anticipate in getting the revenue for those projects in yet 2021. So there's an extra.
I'm sorry. I can't find it either.
Okay, that's one.
Granted one.
Scat.
I can't find my phone.
So there's an additional $826,589 in that number for advances, so the actual expenses are 1.4. And total for the year so far is $18,180,349.19. And so the updates, I got a call from the auditor's office. Currently on our board agenda, or our board schedule, we have left December 30th on there. The auditor's office is hoping to be books closed out, so she's asking basically for us not to have board on the 30th. They don't want to have any adjustments. I said, well, we shouldn't have any. We were probably going to cancel that meeting anyway. So she's asking if we could move that up to maybe Monday or just cancel. I don't think we're going to need to make any adjustments, but
Let's put a tentative date of the 27th, which I believe is Monday,
okay.
pending the need to have the meeting. If there is no, are you okay with the 27th?
Yeah.
Okay?
I'll make
Yeah.
it work.
Okay, so we'll pencil it in as a placeholder. We probably will not have it, but we send the notices out and
Yeah.
cancel.
Yeah.
21st, as we said here, is our last scheduled meeting.
Yep.
Plus this one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, she does, the final payroll numbers will be done on the 22nd. So usually they're pennies that we've got to move around, and it's under my threshold, so we probably won't need the 27th, but just in case. So.
Which I have to tell you, Commissioner Zoller, this time of year, a couple of years ago, it happened, Christmas happened to be on Thursday. was our scheduled meeting, so he proposed and made a motion to cancel Christmas.
And we've not had a commissioner cancel Christmas since
No,
then.
yeah,
That's classic.
Did that make the paper?
I don't think it
And
made.
last year, our
It
budget,
made-
we were working till midnight on New Year's Eve.
Made the highlight film.
Seemed like, but no.
No, but we're in good shape this year.
Yep. So that's all the updates I have.
Just adding to that, I went to Budget Commission this morning, and for those of you that don't know, Budget Commission consists of the treasurer, the auditor, and the prosecutor, and they work hard all year, monitoring what's going on. The good news this morning was that there's an adjustment from the almost 18.2 that you talked about for the year, up 900,000 due to the sales tax. That's a good thing. And as a result of that, we changed the certified amount from 19 million to 19.2 million for 2022. That'll come into play as we talk about the budgets here, but that's a bit of positive news, and my thanks to that Budget Commission for their hard work. Okay, so having said that, it's time for commissioners' reports. If you guys have some things, Commissioner Paradiso.
Okay, just a few comments. I see David Zach in the audience. Next Tuesday at 10 o'clock, we've asked to bring the broadband group in. That'll be John DeVoli from the COG, NCOESC, and David Zach from TSEP. So they have good news for us, and we'll look forward to that next Tuesday. Tomorrow we have an issue 1 meeting down in Mansfield. Charlene, I think you'll be going to that. No? I talked to Engineer Zimmerman before the meeting, and some good news. I won't say, but I know what's approved, and that'll be voted on tomorrow. But there's some nice projects and some nice money coming back to Tiffin, or Seneca County, including Tiffin. So that's all I have for now.
Thank you.
Tyler?
Yeah, it's been a busy week. We had a solid waste budget meeting yesterday. Had the commissioners from Ottawa County, Sandusky County, and Seneca, so we went through all those financials and had a good meeting with them, sitting pretty good here budget-wise. We have the Christmas tree lighting tomorrow, Courthouse Square. That'll be at 5:15, I believe. That's what it says on my calendar. As President Kirshner mentioned, we have an EMS meeting tonight. That'll be at 7 o'clock at the NCOES. So hope to have a good attendance for that. We also had Family and Children First Council this morning. Very well attended. Went over a lot of different items there. They're doing a lot of great things there with that group. So glad to be working with them. Attended a ribbon cutting for the new Laird sign this week. Also had a fundraiser for the Noah Foundation. Wanted to also congratulate Audrey Flood on her new position. She's no longer with TSEP, but she'll be with North Central Electric, so congratulations to her. And also just wanted to give a congratulations to State Trooper Nathan Waldock, who is a Seneca East graduate. He got State Trooper of the Year, so congratulations to him and making Seneca County proud. That's all I have.
Yeah, the Solid Waste District is a good example of a cooperative collaboration. With 3 counties are involved with that, Ottawa, Seneca, and Sandusky counties. And all the commissioners were there yesterday, and we have a new director, relatively new, Gary Beatty. He's doing a great job. So it's good to have one of the departments or one of the folks that we have some responsibility over running relatively smoothly. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, there's a tree lighting ceremony downtown. So if you have an opportunity, I think it'd be nice to get a big crowd down there. So that will happen tomorrow night.
It's like the Griswolds. Commissioner Kirshner plugs the tree in.
Yeah, you never know what's
And
going to
you
light
just
up.
stare
Yeah.
at it. You just.
I'll do the speech. Mike's gonna do the singing.
As long as there's no squirrel in the tree, we'll be.
That's interesting.
Okay,
Make a paper.
so we might as well get into the budget process.
Okay. Let's see. My budget's up here, so
So
I,
we have the general fund budget, which is the first discussion, and American Rescue Plan will be a second discussion.
yep. So, let's see, I have my non-general funds up on my screen. Again, these are non-general. They are usually have their own dedicated revenue or grant funding. So I can read through these numbers. Obviously, there's a lot, or you can approve as presented. And if you have any questions, I think usually I just read the totals, but that's up to you guys.
That's fine.
Well, we've been, obviously,
through
we've
this.
been working on this very hard for the last 60 days, and this is kind of culmination of all that work. Thank you very much for that hard work. Jimmy, these are all posted online.
Yeah, and you can look at the information from past years if you just type budget information into our website search. It's at SenecaCountyOhio.gov.
Okay. And once we pass this budget, it will be online as well.
Yep, it'll be in the post-meeting release, and then there will be I'll create a page where it has all the information related to general fund, non-general fund, and American Rescue Plan budgets. So,
Okay. So, the first thing you need is passing the non-general fund
Yeah.
budget, right?
Yeah, there's only one thing I just want to make sure I mention, that if you've seen previous year's budgets, the Justice Center Operating Fund, usually court security is paid for out of the general fund. And, you know, with us trying to track the Justice Center expenses according to our contract, which we do have a new lease payment with the city, but to account for that a little better, I talked to Lex yesterday at the sheriff's office, and we're gonna pull the expenses for court security now out of the Justice Center fund. So if you looked at the 1244, the Justice Center fund, and seen the increase, we'll be transferring it. So right now in the general fund, there's nothing in for court security because we're moving it into this fund to have a more accurate account for the expenses that are out of that fund, because the city pays their portion.
Very good.
Good.
I accept the motion for the non-general fund expenses and total budget.
So moved.
Yeah, I'll second.
Any additional discussion? Kylie?
Commissioner Chef,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes?
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. Okay, now for general fund.
The general fund, again, as mentioned, what isn't on the budget as was last year is the court security. Some of the, as you know, some of the requests were put in. We had over $20 million in requests. We had a $19 million revenue. Obviously, today it's changed. So with some reductions, mainly, taking out any department that had equipment requests, because usually equipment is a one-time expense. So to help with our numbers, I've pulled expenses out. There were some departments that, put in some equipment for maybe a computer, just in case they have computers going bad. So usually those we've always approved as a one-time expense. Now the sheriff had put in for his vehicles and some equipment for that. Just to try to get our budgets in line, I had to pull those out. So that'll be something that we'll have to have a conversation with the sheriff at the first of the year to discuss the vehicles that he needs for 2022.
Just a real quick assertion there. We are going to have about a $3.8 million carryover this year, which is good news. And this budget is to get us to a balanced budget, our projected income versus what our expenses are gonna be. And that, at this point, is an approved budget. It's gonna be about $18,900,000. Previous to today, the certification was $19 million. It's now at 19.2. But that does not preclude us from doing some things from the carryover once we know exactly what that number is after the first of the year. So there may be some additional requests that come in that we will consider based on the amount of money that we were able to carry over. As I had said, basically today we did an adjustment of $900,000 in that range because of the increased sales tax. So there could be something like that would happen in December as well, that we would use as carryover and have those discussions for requested items that weren't part of the general fund budget today.
Yeah. So just another note, since we haven't really had a firm decision on the OSU extension, I left the amount in based on the 2020 amount, or 2021 amount. So once we get in the first of the year, I know that's still an ongoing
Yes.
questions with OSU about how we're gonna do that, whether it's part-time, whether it's figuring out a different revenue source, so, but I did at least put in what we committed in 2021 for that.
Okay,
For
so that really wouldn't matter then whether,
For a total 122, because we pay for a educator already, and then some supplies, some different things, and then that was for the second educator, which would have been a total of 50, but we paid 25 for hers previously.
so it's adequate for half a
Yes.
person, if you will. So we could either hire somebody full-time for 6 months based on this budget, or look for somebody on a part-time basis,
Yeah,
right?
unless they could
Or we
find.
could hire them full-time for the year and make an adjustment after the first.
Yeah.
That's possible. So
Exactly.
I still, personally, I like the fact that we're vetting this out and putting some time and thinking it through, but in general, I support the position, so more to come on that. So basically, you're funding half in this budget.
Right.
That's good.
So the total, $18,928,067.26. That includes no raises, other than the sheriff has 1% built into the union contract, so his was built in there. I did remove, I think he had in his budget an additional for the deputies that he was asking for in the dispatcher. So I figure that still needs to be a discussion, and that would have put us well above our budget. So those are on hold until, we can have that further discussion with the sheriff on that.
I mean, it's obvious, but pay increases and additional head count adds to the ongoing budget. What Commissioner Kirschner was referring to, or with carryover, we can do some one-time, we can pay for cars, we can do things like that. There's a big difference, because as this budget creeps,
I'm sorry.
it's harder to
Nope.
cut
Okay.
things that are ongoing.
So we do need to have some discussion about increases this year for general fund staff, but this is the budget that we want to approve today based on the numbers that we've had and everybody's worked on.
We'll talk about
And then
that
I would like to have a
afterwards.
discussion
Yeah.
about increases after that. So I would accept the motion to approve the general fund budget at this point.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, additional discussion about that? Hearing none, Kylie?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes.
Nice job, Steve.
So Commissioner Paradiso, Commissioner Schuff, you have any thoughts about raises for the general fund staff? I've got some thoughts, but I'd like to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah, I think last year we did 2%, right?
Last year we did 2% plus a 1% one-time bonus. So 2% was on the base, 1% was given as a one-time to keep that base down a little bit, is what we did last year.
Just as a matter of transparency,
19.2, does that allow us
it
to,
allows us pretty much to get to,
What's that
well,
goes to?
it's in the range of 3%.
okay.
Okay, but I mean, it's not exactly, but it's, for every 1%, it's approximately 100,000.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm good with 2%. Start there.
Okay, any thoughts about the 1% one time?
I'm not opposed to that either.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to that either. I kind of like that because it doesn't lock us in for guaranteed 3, but
Okay, just to be totally transparent about it, just to break it down, if it's $100,000 for a department, and we approve a 2% rate increase plus a 1% one-time increase at the first of the year, the department head or the elected official has
Yeah.
a discretion as to how they're gonna do that money. It doesn't mean that you're automatically gonna get any particular percentage. The elected has that pot of money, in this case. if
Their
it's-
payroll line goes up.
Right, the payroll line goes up by 300,000, and they then can disperse it based on performance and how they see fit.
Hey, we've got great people, and we just gotta do.
I think
we
if
could
we-
do more. I wish we could do more, and of course, we helped with the CARES money, right? Everybody got $2,000, but
I think one thing too, if we want to stay competitive with other entities and businesses and governments, If we want to make Seneca County an attractive place to be and work, we don't have constant turnover, so you gotta compensate your employees fairly.
You agree with that?
So since we've done all the hard work, since Stacy's done all the hard work and we've done all the hard reading on the budget, we've got that approved, the general fund budget. We're not gonna approve, we'll ask her to adjust that for our next meeting to
Is
include,
that the,
yeah, to include the 2% increases and the 1% one-time increase in the first pay in January.
as long as we stay under 19.2, we're okay?
Right.
Okay.
So that will be added at our next session, once we have those numbers specifically calculated, right? Okay.
And just also, and I know it's in here, but our HSA contributions are gonna remain the same?
Yes,
for all the
I have a
employees?
resolution on that today, and it
Okay,
is
that's
still in the
fine.
budget.
And the
Yep,
contributions for healthcare are the same as well?
yep.
Okay.
So we have a health
That's rare.
insurance committee, and we've met, I'm on that with Dave, we've met several times. I think we've done a good job there of keeping costs and adding extra benefits to our employees.
Yep, our consortium does a wonderful job
It's a
at,
good thing.
yep.
So
I
that's
think-
part of this too.
Yep.
Okay.
This is a big part of the year, a big part of the process, so I will pause here and kind of go off script. If there are any comments anybody wants to make about budget or any questions anybody has about the budget process, any concerns, I certainly welcome any comments that you might have. Okay. Hearing none, we'll go on to new business. Stacy?
Okay. Let's see, I have a request from the auditor's office for an increase of $5,700 in the interest on the bond interest. Obviously, we just got more than we anticipated, just the miscalculation at the beginning of the year, so she needs an additional $5,700 in the interest line. I have an additional supplemental appropriation in the Justice Center contract services line. Actually, it's the transfer line because we've got to move it over from the general fund for $32,000. This is needed because we don't have the payment in from the city yet, so we've got to make sure we get that in. Then I have the transfer that goes along with that is transferring the money in our general fund transfers out to the Justice Center operating fund transfers in for the $32,000. I have a resolution authorizing the established discounted rate for parcel number B110011480000 in New Regal District. And I have one more, and then I'll have Charlene explain on my resolution authorizing established discounted rate for parcel number F20-00033-652-0000, and this one is in Bascom. Do you want to explain what those were?
Sure. So the new Regal Sewer District request for discount is the parcel had a residence on it. They contacted me, the bank contacted me, they bought that parcel, they demolished the residence, they've been paying their bill as established with the EDU for the residents. And the home is demolished, the parking lot is installed, and there's no longer sewer feed there. Spoke with Mark, it's been inspected, there is no longer any need for sewer on that lot. And therefore, we want to reduce their rate to only their debt portion, because there is a debt portion on all of those parcels. When the sewer district was established, they had to take out debt to pay for it. So we requested only the debt portion be paid for that parcel. And then the Bascom parcel, we finally received written communication from the owner. I believe it went to Tyler before it came to us. So we received it in October. Well, we actually just received it in November. I think you got it in October. But what we would look at is the same thing there. They had a residence on a parcel. Their parcel, they had contacted us, but we told them you have to put it in writing. That is the standard. It has to be in writing. for us to be able to present the request and inspect and go through the processes. Mark's standard process, our standard process. So we finally got it in writing. The parcel's been inspected, no property, no residents on the property. It is a parking lot as well. We request that that be discounted to the debt portion only for their quarterly payment as well. They had requested that their previous balances be forgiven. We would not recommend that due to the fact that they did not follow procedure, and New Regal did follow, parcel New Regal did follow procedure, paid their payment, and once they sent us in writing, we're discounting. They paid their payment on time, even if there wasn't a residence there. They just did it until it's time. So what's good for the goose is good for the
So
gander.
going forward, there will not be a payment, but.
There will be a payment every quarter, but it'll be
Just the debt
minimal. It's
payment.
just the debt
Yeah,
ratio payment.
But the past sewer bill needs to be taken care of.
Needs to be caught up, yes.
You good?
That is all we have. for
Okay,
those
thank
two.
you.
Well, they have a resolution for the plan, but I don't think GLCAP has come on, so I'm gonna hold that one out. I don't know if
I'm
they
from
just.
GeoCap.
Oh, you are here.
Me or not? But
We are.
Yeah, I was expecting, somebody else. Do you wanna go ahead and explain what the Coordinated Public and Human Services Transportation Plan is?
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
GeoCap is. Yeah, I have some handouts if you.
Okay.
We sent them ahead of time. But
Do you mind stating your name and?
Yeah.
not at all. Tim Bergman from GeoCap Mobility
Tim.
Management.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The plan itself is rather long, so this is a condensed version. Not using camera. The purpose of mobility management, it's funded mostly by federal dollars. Like I said, GLCAP's the lead agency for coordinating transportation planning in Seneca County, so we partner with agencies like SCAT, Regional Planning, Senior Services, other stakeholders that consume transportation services and provide transportation services. It's been an interesting planning year throughout COVID, because kind of the underlying theme of what we're trying to do is do more with a finite amount of resources. So there's a lot of vehicle sharing, cooperation within Seneca County, that really just provides more transportation capacity to the residents of Seneca County. Through the process, we agree on unmet needs and goals and strategies that the group will kind of guide their operations and intentions towards over the next 4 years, with the hope of creating a more sustainable, larger capacity transit service in Seneca County that meets the unique needs of Seneca County and the various outlying areas around Seneca County, not necessarily just one municipality or another. The plan is required for certain federal funding, which agencies in Seneca County do apply for. So this is ODOT's way of, as the pass-through entity, ensuring that there's public participation within Seneca County before they award federal dollars. We bring it to the county commissioners. ODOT only allows one rural transit agency per county, so we just like to make sure the county commissioners are included in the plan, able to look at the plan and provide any comment, feedback. We certainly appreciate any adoption, acceptance, endorsement of the plan before we submit to ODOT.
Were you here last year?
I was not,
I know it was COVID, but was there a presentation last year?
no,
I don't remember.
The
Yeah.
plan itself is rewritten every 4 years,
Okay.
so this year was a rewrite year.
Got it.
The main part of rewriting is updating population demographics, some other percentages, and really revisiting the progress on the plan, and then agreeing on a way forward over the next 4 years. So the goals and strategies, which are on the last 2 pages of the summary, will guide sort of what SCAT, regional planning, senior services, how they direct transit services over the next 4 years, and then we'll monitor progress annually and revisit any goals and strategies if need be.
Thank you.
Mary, a couple comments?
Yeah, I just want to say that since Tim has taken this role, and it's been less than a year, he has helped out in a lot of areas because Seneca County is unique, especially like Bellevue with 4 counties, Fostoria with 3 counties. He was able to help people that lived right on the border and get them. He contacted all of us and got it, and now we have people going to dialysis that before the family had to miss work, had to do different things to get them. So Tim himself has coordinated with transit agencies, and he's come up with some creative things. So I feel we're very blessed to have Tim in the position that he is. Mobility management is something pretty fairly new, about 3 or 4 years, that this has been mandated by the FTA. And we have Tim here, Bergman for Seneca County. I also have a Tim in Crawford County, and he's doing amazing work. He's almost as good as this Tim. So, but it's been a pleasure working with him, and no transit agency can apply for funds unless we have a coordinated plan. That is a mandate from the federal government.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Nice
I
work.
just want to say that it's working in Seneca, but
Good.
that doesn't surprise me.
Thank you, Tim, for the presentation, very good. Okay,
Okay, so I can read that. A resolution accepting the
Good stuff.
coordinated public and human services transportation plan. I have a resolution requesting the amendment to the 2019 project and amounts for the community development program and authorizing the current president of the board, county commissioners, to sign the amended scope of work. It looks like, Charlene, you want to explain these? It's
Sure, we're just we're finishing out the program, so Melmore has completed their project, which is the park. That's the last thing that need to be completed. We actually have pictures if you want to see them. We gave them to Stacy, you can see pictures of the park ahead of doing a final report to you. But there was $1,953 left in the Bloomville project, and we just need to move that over to the Melmore project so we can pay out the concrete costs, because it was a little more expensive than expected, and we don't want to leave any money on the table for a grant. So that's all we're doing, is amending to move that 1953 over to that project. That was a larger amount, and we didn't need that amount, and now we do need that moved over. Does that make the best way I can explain it? We didn't need it, now we need it. Yes.
I don't know what pictures
Okay.
I show.
Yeah, and this is the park. So they had, you wouldn't know it because we don't have before, but there's a beautiful pavilion, there's fence backstop, the concrete that's in is for handicap accessibility and for parking. There's quite a few pictures that we took just so you can see how it turned out. They have new fencing along the ball diamond, the pavilion is brand new. They have 2 beautiful black grills that they put in, like, you know, the campsite grills. So basically what was not there did not exist, and a whole restroom that did not exist now exists.
There we go.
So that the citizens can utilize the park and they can host events there. If you want to have a family get together at the pavilion, you coordinate with the trustees and you can do so. It's more accessible for families coming to watch baseball and softball games. So if they need to be in a wheelchair or a scooter, they have better access. So it just really turned out beautiful from what it was, and we're very happy for that.
good, good.
Stace, can you just arrow key through them?
It won't let
It
me.
won't work?
Oh,
Okay.
wait, there it
Might not
is.
be in the same
Oh,
folder.
there it goes.
Okay.
It wouldn't let me do that before. I had to open each additional one.
Yeah, it's weird like that.
Very nice.
And they had some really neat ideas about the pavilion. So the underside of the pavilion has soffit in it. So it's closed off so the birds can't get in and nest and ruin and cause droppings on tables and things. So that was like really nice idea that you don't see everybody doing, and I thought that was great, especially when kids are going to be utilizing the area. So.
Okay,
So then, so that's a reduction in the Village of Bloomville sidewalk replacement to $59,090 and an increase to the Melmore Park, $65,410. And I have a resolution contract with Lucas County Board of Commissioners for the Lucas County Coroner to perform certain necessary autopsies and toxicology reports for calendar year of 2022. It's one we do every year. My resolution establishing Seneca County's contribution to the high deductible health savings account for employees that enroll in the health savings account for 2022. Our single plans are $750 and our family plans are $1,500.
do we still do that car vault for those people that aren't qualified anymore?
Yes.
If they're also secured to get that contribution?
Yes.
Okay, good, thanks.
I have a resolution authorizing the Seneca County Board of Commissioners to sign the Honey Creek Subdivision final plat. Again, Charlene.
So Stacy has the PDF to show on the screen, and that's what's laying up here. There's multiple copies. You have to sign 2 places once you approve it. Honey Creek Subdivision, there is a parcel of land there. It was planned for 10. It is going down to 3. It extends out the subdivision. All interested parties have approved the final plat. We are just waiting for the commissioners, then it goes to the auditors, then the developer can pick it up and go get it recorded and finalized, and he can sell off those 3 and get them developed. Meets all the sanitary regulations. Any issues or concerns about erosion on Honey Creek have been addressed, and no infrastructure has to be put in because the infrastructure is already there. So this is a kind of a sweet deal for a subdivision.
Nice project.
Yeah,
Very nice project.
which will bring 3 more homes to Seneca County, which is a great thing.
You say originally was plotted for 10 though?
Plotted for 10, but they reduced it to the 3,
Okay.
which is acceptable. They can do that.
Yeah. I think they're having some problem with the sewer capabilities
Sewer
too at that point. There was some discussion about that.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's a
And,
win-win. It could handle the 10 more, but
Traffic, the whole
it's just
thing.
nicer to do the 3.
It's better, yeah.
Yeah, it's better for everybody.
Okay,
Okay. We have a resolution setting time, date, and place to receive sealed bids for the Seneca County Services Building, ADA, and facilities upgrades. So the bid opening for this will be January 6th, 2022 at 10:15 here at the Seneca County Commissioner's Office. They are working on the final bid documents, and it will be ready as soon as the first advertisement goes out, which is next Thursday. Okay, so they could get it in next Thursday? And I think that's all I have.
okay. Your pleasure, gentlemen.
I'll make a motion that we approve the new business presented by our county administrator.
Second the motion?
Any additional discussion? Hearing none, Kylie?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. We are going to go into executive session for personnel, and there may be some additional discussion after that executive session for those of you who may or may not want to stay. So what I think I'll do again is modify the agenda a little bit before we go into executive session and open it up for anybody that has any comments or questions that they'd like to present to the commissioners. We probably will not do this again after we come back, so if there's anything, let us know. Jimmy, anybody with their hands raised or anything out there?
I haven't seen anything in the chat. Obviously though, if you are joining us through Zoom, you can hit the unmute button and come forward now.
Okay, I will accept the motion then, hearing nothing, to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay? Kylie?
Commissioner Schuff,
Yes.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes. So as of 10:37, we are in executive session. come back into regular session out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
11:25. Kylie?
Commissioner Schuff,
Present.
Commissioner Paradiso,
Yes.
Commissioner Kirschner.
Yes, and present.
11:25.
Okay, so there is nothing to report from executive session. We had discussions regarding cost of personnel for ambulance districts and how we might work that out with the new Bascom district when that is formed. That's basically the gist of that conversation. Now, we have a situation in which the Bascom ambulance district, I guess, is that what it's called? Bascom Hopewell, Bascom Ambulance District. Has made a decision not to come with the county, the new countywide district. And we sent notice on November 18th, per contract of 90 days. That 90 days is up February 21st. So the question is, what will we do after February 21st? And I guess we'll see what you guys would like to do and have that discussion.
We was wondering if you would be able to extend that contract by 3 months.
Okay? So, under what circumstances? Well, we got a bit of a problem in that once we notify pharmacy board that we can no longer supply medication after 30 days. Okay? And so there has to be a new medical director who would then somehow make that transfer to him, and
Right.
he would be able to order prescription drugs?
Yes, and I'm not sure if I understand the question 100%, but if you guys already have a new medical director and a new set of protocols, you get those to me, we'll review them with my medical director, and then we'll see how close we are to each other as far as protocols go and determine whether or not we can do that, or what equipment has to come off the truck, or what, you know. But if you're planning on a 90-day extension as is, using our medical director, that's something the board and Dr. Fitzpatrick will have to decide.
Okay. So, let me make sure I understand. So it's within our once, I guess I was under the assumption that once the 90 days went out, we notified them that the contract is over at that point. That automatically kicked in the medical situation?
Well, I haven't contacted anybody except Dr. Fitzpatrick yet, so if what we're saying is we're not giving him 90 days, we're giving him 180 days, that's within your purview and your authority.
But isn't there some period before that 180 days then, that
Yeah, it'd be
we
60
would have to
days
transfer
before
the
that.
medical?
60 days before that
Yeah.
final date, we
So
have to notify
180
the pharmacy board.
Okay, so the 180 really becomes 120,
Yes, sir,
and we would have to have some proof
that they have protocols.
after that date that there is a proper medical format,
Mhm.
protocol,
Yes, sir.
okay?
So it would be 60 days, you know, we have to let them know 60 days, so that's, by next week, I need to notify the pharmacy board. But if we're gonna extend this by an additional 90, then it moves out to 120 days before I need to let them know.
So I guess I need a couple questions answered. Is it your assumption then that you will have your equipment and your ambulances and your medical director in place before the 180 days?
Yes.
By that time, yeah.
Okay. And how much time do you need for the transition then, Ken?
Probably 30 days.
Okay.
I'm guessing, but I think it'll take 30 days. I know when you give the pharmacy board notification, they schedule your exit inspection and the new entrance inspection on the same day, as long as we're working together. So that's why I need a copy of the protocols and the medical director's name, so I can put all those on the forms. So when the inspector from Columbus comes up, they go, is this person? Yes. Shake their hand. Is that person? Yes, shake their hand. And it doesn't have to be the physician themselves, it can be their surrogate, whoever that person would be, the responsible person. And they sign off on one license, move it to the other license, and then we're done. And whether it's a BLS license or an ALS license, it doesn't matter. Another thing we could do as far as ease of transition is if you guys use the same oxygen vendor that we do, we can do a bottle count, have that gentleman, who I don't remember his name, come to the station, count the bottles, and then put them under your name for contract so that you can pay for the oxygen.
Okay,
And, but we have to have the medical license in place prior to being able to do that.
okay, so really
So it's a good 30 days of work.
okay. Okay, so besides the additional 90 days, what else would you like?
You said with mutual aid, that would be, that's still available?
Well, I think mutual aid is a given. I mean, I don't think that anybody's gonna deny anybody in the surrounding areas, whether it be Green Springs or Bascom or,
Yeah,
you know, Tiffin, whatever.
Right.
When there's a need, there's a need.
okay.
Yeah, we're willing to mutual aid with anybody who needs it, just like now.
Any,
Yeah.
really no,
Tiffin,
Yeah.
Foster.
Yeah, we're not gonna let somebody
everybody.
suffer.
right, I mean, nobody's gonna, right, just because we have a business conversation, we're gonna make certain, we wanna try everything we can to make sure that nobody would suffer because of
Okay.
that.
Good.
Ken, if we were to extend this and put our personnel in, let's say, Bettsville, and so instead of, and we go, what, by the way, what is 90 days? So February
Be
21st?
May 21st.
Okay.
And I think all they're asking is they want to keep using our stuff for an additional 90
Yes.
days.
Yeah, and
think
so,
that's
but
basically
okay, assume that, the license and everything, but as far as the arrangement with taking calls and, I mean,
That
we
all
could just
stays
keep doing that the
exactly as it
same,
is,
would that be the same?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the
Right,
question.
additional 90 days would mean that everything would pretty much stay the way that it is
Yeah.
now. Calls are calls.
Yep.
Mutual
The
aid,
only thing
mutual
that's
aid.
gonna change is we're gonna
Nothing
put
really
the two
changes.
guys that are working nights, we're gonna
Yeah.
put them in Bettsville. And we're gonna do that as of December 8th. And everything else stays the same
So
until you
we
tell me to
would,
take it out.
we would keep the run revenue till May, whatever, 21st.
Yeah.
And then, if you make a call into Bettsville, Bettsville will pay you $315, just like it is. We're keeping things a lot simpler.
Yeah,
But
I think that's probably the best thing to do.
Okay.
Okay, so, the additional 90 days, what else are we talking about?
What about the echo unit help if we would possibly need that?
Well, you guys had requested that the one ambulance that needs help,
Yes.
we had decided we will give that to you.
Oh, you would?
Yeah.
Okay, that was
I
another
mean-
one I was gonna ask.
Actually,
We,
we'd
by
rather-
we, I mean me, but, so, it's, you know, I need another vote on that, but I think the general consensus is that if you guys think you can get that back to life and you can use it, yeah.
Actually, we'd
I
rather.
mean, it has probably
Pay you
honestly, a $10,000 value to us or something, but, as it sits, but we believe that if it'll help you get started, that's what we ought to do.
Yeah, we wanna pay you something, maybe $1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah,
that's
yeah,
usually how you
something
do
in
it.
there.
yeah.
You asked two questions, one about the vehicle, the other about
Right.
the Echo, so
Right.
I'm asking Ken, okay? So if we extended this to May 21st, then I would assume that our Echo unit will continue to
Yes.
go in
This is
there.
after we go on our own.
We're just like we are till
Yes.
the 21st, and after that, you're on
Yes.
your own.
Well, my question is after we go on our own,
Uh,
how is?
Well, like we said when we
Check to Ken.
initially said this, the Echo unit is an asset for county ambulances that are gonna be responding. So those are county ambulances, part of Seneca County EMS. That's the first and true priority. So if we were to, and just as a quick reminder, everybody who's asked us to contract that service out, we have told no, emphatically, with no uncertain terms. And there's two agencies that asked us specifically to do that, and we said no. However, to your question, if we were to do that, it should be very similar to what private ambulance companies do as far as ALS Intercept with what they call fly cars, we call Echo Unit, Cleveland calls them Deltas. $200 for the trip, $400 for transport, and that is paid monthly.
Well,
I strongly suggest we don't do that.
the other nuance with that, Ken, at least from our previous discussions, is that if we're able to put up 2 or 3 stations, and if we're able to man those stations at a certain level, the echo may go away.
Well, yeah, that's fine. We just wondered if, as long as it was in place, that
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
able to use it or
I
not.
think I would say on May 21st, when the answer is no, I
Okay.
think that's what we're saying. We would do, if we had mutual aid, and that would be a different scenario.
Yes.
But frankly, we have 10 other townships and 6 villages we gotta cover. And we're gonna need that equity in it.
Yes.
And so we can't just say, and you're gonna have a lot of runs, right? We can't deploy it. So I support Ken on that, but we can revisit all this as we talk about maybe some arrangement after the, soon we settle this. But whenever we part ways, I think we should have another discussion how that might work, how we would, okay? But I wouldn't, I'd say no, Kevin.
Just to make sure that we keep the line of thought going here.
But
Since the other contract does expire in 90 days, we will require the prosecutor to work up another 90-day contract
Okay.
that stipulates, that we're gonna give you the ambulance, that we're extending until X date.
Everything's the same.
And Ken's gotta do the transition for medication
Okay.
X date prior to that date. So all this is
Good.
very clear, and
Yeah,
again,
that's good.
there isn't anybody that's gonna say, well,
okay?
that's not what you
Yeah.
said, or that's not what I thought.
Right, that's a good idea.
Okay, Ken's good with it, and I think subject to, and Stacy looking over the numbers, but I agree with Mike. So instead of a trolling forever contract with a 90-day notice, there will be an amended contract with a certain date ending, and then Ken will rely on you to go back and say in 45 days this needs to happen, or by 60 days.
What I'm gonna do is contact the pharmacy board and say our date of closure of the Bascom satellite for Seneca County EMS is May 21st.
Yeah.
And let them tell me when they're coming.
And then you get with Derek and we put this all together. Are you okay with that?
And we want you to be, and I know that you will be, and we've had this discussion, we want to be as cooperative as we can for the transition.
Sure.
So what, were you done asking?
Yes,
Okay.
Well,
unless he has something.
well, we want, in that contract, we want to pay you $1 at least for that ambulance. We want $1 amount on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree, everything should be finite, everything should be objective. There will be specific dollar amounts, specific timeframes, so that there won't be any confusion of conversation, yes.
And just for planning purposes, on the purchase of 202, what all will come with 202? Just the truck?
Just the
Or
truck.
just the truck?
Well,
and our
lift load
cot?
system that's in it'll be in
Okay.
there, yeah.
Did we ever settle that lift load conversation?
Well, if they're gonna take it
Yes.
back, we've never removed it. They were gonna
It's still-
come and get it back if
It's
they
still-
needed
If it's
it.
still in there, that's
It's
good,
still in
because if
there,
we
yeah.
remove it,
But
Which
also,
On 201,
201, whenever we
Right.
leave, we'll have to get the cot out of that.
Well, I think probably what we'll have to do there is.
Can we do a swap?
Instead of doing a swap, the best thing to do would be to purchase them a new one. Because once you take them out and you put them in another truck, they don't always work.
no, but when we
I
get,
know
we're
that
gonna
from
get
experience.
201 back.
Yeah,
But
And
what they-
the cot comes with it, right?
right.
No, that's our
Well, that's
cot.
our.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we would maybe give them $1 or some number, we can talk about it for the
Yeah.
cot, and,
Yeah.
we'll
Might
get it
have
on
to
the
be
truck,
whatever,
they can give us.
whatever a new one costs is what it has to be.
Yeah, we could do it that way, or we'll give you the truck and you give us the cot, or if we have to add if we have to put some money in between that, you guys talk about it, but.
All right.
What's the value of the cot?
That's 17 grand.
That's what a new one is?
Yeah,
A new one?
yeah.
How much can you get for a used one?
About 8, depending on the model of it, because
What do
some
you
of them
want?
had some recalls.
17 grand?
Yes,
Well,
sir.
we paid like, how much?
4,000?
They were like 30-some thousand. when we
For
bought
two of them
got
or each?
Each.
If you buy the cot and the lift
No,
load, you're
no,
looking at a
no.
little
Was
over
it?
30,000. But
You
the
buy
cot
and
itself,
what? I'm sorry, say
cot
again.
and the system that lifts it
And
into
the
the
system,
animal,
okay.
it's about 38,000.
Is it?
Yeah, but if you buy just the cot, a Power Pro XT, which we could probably Google
I
that.
just looked it up, 33,000 for the whole system. This
Yeah.
is cotwarehouse.com, very easy to
Okay.
Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
like,
Crazy.
that's with the lift system and the cot. The cot itself's about 17, 18
Well,
grand.
we want the lift and the cot in the vehicle and get it back.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And every
so
vehicle
let's-
we buy
let's
from now on
negotiate
will have the lift system in it. And we just don't buy cots
Yeah,
until
so
we
Jim's
need
point, we'll come
one.
up with a number you
Yeah.
agree to.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
there's
I
no-
just don't think it's prudent to remove one from one truck and put it in another.
Yeah,
because
but
you
on my
have to.
mind,
They don't
We
always
was
work.
just thinking of taking it out, but
you
we'll have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how much it's worth to you if you take it out, try to retrofit it. It may or may not work.
we want it, so just throw us a number, okay? Because we don't want to have to go through all that, right, Ken?
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
The minute we
Yeah.
pull that vehicle out, I know you got a place for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we
And
don't
we're
have time.
standardizing all our trucks to that rear end model, and that'll be one of our 4.
Yeah,
And
So,
And we've got two on order, so.
Yeah, I don't think, again, we wanna do what's everybody's best interest.
What's the
Disassemble
availability?
one doesn't make any sense.
They build them to order, so I don't know how long it takes. I don't know what their build time is. I'd have to ask Stryker.
We better find that out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't, well, I don't know, in this day and
Shouldn't
age, man, I
be
can't
decided.
tell.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we could use
but
the
then
internet and
those
see
lead
what we can
times
find
get
maybe,
right
I don't
there.
know. Get your credit card out there.
Like, do we need a motion to win this contract, or do we?
I-
No, we need the
think we-
written contract first.
Right, we need to, let Derek know.
Yeah, that's
through
what I'm
the
saying.
Conversations, right. but,
I guess that was my question.
Yeah, we should, yeah.
So we turn it over to Derek, we bring it back, we all read
Are there
it.
any other items you guys want included in the contract? We talked about extending it 90 days. We talked about the 201 truck. We talked about some language regarding
202 truck.
202 truck, what the heck that word is. The one that needs to be fixed.
Vehicle number 932.
Anything else that you specifically want in the contract?
Are the numbers on those trucks? Like 202, 201?
I don't think so.
I mean,
We'll make it very clear what truck it is. We'll get the serial numbers.
no,
202 's the
I
one with
mean,
long
do
motor.
we,
Does
can
it
we
ma-
still call them 201 and 202,
What
or are you gonna
numbers?
take a?
No, you can call them that.
Does it
Those are
matter?
assigned by the state. Those numbers are assigned by
No,
the
that's a
state.
good
Oh, they
question.
are?
So 201 is assigned to Fire Department number 2, which is Bascom, and that's where 201 comes from.
Yeah, so they'll keep that as far as dispatch.
Are we better to keep that number then, to make it?
That's entirely up to you, but if you want to.
Does it matter, it doesn't matter either way then?
No.
or-
I would say the only way that it mattered, at least from my standpoint, is with dispatch.
Right,
You know, let's make certain that somebody calls into the sheriff, that there isn't some confusion
Right.
about what truck ought to go out.
Right.
And I don't know if that means, changing it to
Okay.
401, or if that
Talk
means,
Yeah.
change
Right,
it to
we
a
can talk to
4-digit,
Steve.
whatever it means, let's just
Yeah.
make sure that
We'll let you-
nobody's hurt by it.
good point.
Yeah, and that's something you'll have to work out. I mean, I wouldn't see why you would ever change it because of everybody's used to it. but-
We don't have any other 201s in our system.
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay,
And for dispatch purposes, what happens, like currently, what happened 5 years ago, 2016, when Green Springs Squad went away, they still dispatch that through our system as 701, which was a county assigned number, because Green Springs is fire department number 7, 701 was the
Okay.
assigned truck number.
Yeah, I-
And they still use that number in dispatch for the North Central truck.
North Central.
Okay.
Anything else in the contract you guys would like to see?
Nothing we can think of right now, but.
Okay.
And-
Well, we may,
and
after we talk about it with our prosecutor, we may
That's
come up with
right.
a couple surprises, right?
And Stacy, what I was trying to ask, if they come out right. is
They
we've
get
got
paid by the word,
We
so.
got the clock ticking on the current one, but I think we understand the intent
To change that to
to
the.
change it, so if we don't have this finalized by next week, which would be his deadline to notify the pharmacy,
Right.
we're all fine.
Wasn't that cop bought the grant money? Oh, it's just coming to me.
Or it's a BWC SIG grant completed by now.
BWC SIG grant, so it was a buy one, get one. So, yeah, I understand.
That
So
we-
it's taxpayer money, the way you look at it.
So whatever price they have, we're cutting it in half, because they got one free.
Yeah?
No. No, you're not.
Talk to our fiscal.
Okay.
Oh, but we can't nickel and dime this thing as far down as we want.
it's great, it's great.
It's not too late to reconsider and opt in.
Right here.
Yeah, I do want to make this, first of all, I'm glad we had this meeting, and I'm glad you're here, Ken, and I'm glad we're all trying to work together and take care of our constituents, because that's what it's all about. So this is probably going to be as smooth as it can possibly be. I do want to make a parting comment that for approximately 3 mills, okay, don't beat me up on this, we could have 4 paid full-time squads throughout the county if Bascom comes in. Julie's numbers included Eden and Thompson, and it was 2.7 million, remember, for 3 mills. Julie calculated that. With Bascom out, to have a 4-squad model, it's 4.7 mills. So I'm having a hard time getting my arms around, everybody else in the county has to pay 1.7 mills more. And if Bascom can do it for 3 mills or less, great. But if it's gonna cost Bascom anything over 3 mills, it just, I don't get the math for the taxpayers, given the county umbrella, the depth, the sustainability, the efficiency, is the whole thing. So I'm making that statement. Now, that said, we wish you well.
Well, thank you.
That's all I got to
We
say.
appreciate the cooperation, and we're gonna cooperate with anybody and everybody as much as we can. Try to make
Okay,
everything smooth as we can.
Yep.
all right, I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Where's this thing at? I motion we adjourn.
Second.
All right.